football coaches make you weak, we're gonna show you how you can improve your in-season training so that you're not weak anymore, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, let's jump right into it. If I'm setting up an in-season football program, we're gonna go right into, let's pretend that you play a game on a Friday. I've had discussions with Chuck Losey, I've had discussions with Aaron Feld, I've talked with Nick Singleton, I've talked with Jan Johnson, I've talked with Brandon George about how they set up their programming. And oftentimes, the first thing that they will do is they will do their leg day right after a game. Not literally right after, but let's say you have a game, a college football game on a Saturday and it ends by 6 o'clock. Then Sunday midday, they're gonna go in and lift. So if you're a high school football coach, we're going to establish that if you have a Friday game, we're gonna go in and we're gonna go into the weight room on Saturday and we're gonna get this work done. And this is what that weight room work is gonna look like. We're gonna get this warm up done. PVC pipe walks, split squats, okay, with the twisting. We're gonna have trunk rolls. We're gonna have single leg RDL to hip lock. We're gonna have duck walks, duck hops. And then we're gonna get into a simple workout with a hang power clean. Okay, so we're doing a hang power clean, shorter range of motion, focusing on good speed. This is going to work up to a top set that's a double at 92% of our best double. That's what we're looking at right here. Then we're gonna get into some front squats. So we're gonna get down here, front squats with some side plank dips. Again, this is done on a Saturday morning. And then we're gonna finish with rotating plate walking lunges. So we're gonna walk, rotate. This is an absolute awesome leg day that you can do in season. Now, another thing that I want to bring up is that some of the biggest errors that I see with high school football coaches is that they're either not lifting enough in season or they're not being dynamic with their schedule. And so what I would recommend is you look at the entire month. And when we've worked with some of the best high school football teams here in Pennsylvania, what we've done is say, okay, let's look at the full schedule. Let's look at the teams that aren't that good. Let's look at the teams that are going to be a little dicey when we play them. And then let's plan ahead and be dynamic. And then around week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, we can start to really look at this and say, hey, these weeks we're gonna have a tough opponent, let's only lift twice. Okay, hey, this week we're playing a scrub, let's lift 3 times and increase the volume a little more, because oftentimes high school football teams by like week 7, week 8, week 9, they're groggy, they're flat, they have no pop, okay? There's nothing there. They're not doing enough work. The other big facet here is culture. As a high school football coach or as a high school strength and conditioning coach, we have to establish culture from the top down. So if you are an actual coach and you're making space, you're saying, hey, Saturday mornings, you guys come in, we're gonna watch film, we're gonna get a 45-minute lift done, we're gonna shake out all of that soreness from the game, and we're gonna recover faster. That way, Sunday, you guys are gonna feel good, you eat your protein, you can watch some NFL games. Monday, we're gonna get in, we're gonna watch more film of the team that we're gonna play that week, and we're gonna do our next thing, and that's going to be our upper body strength day. So now we're going into Monday, we're gonna hit that upper body day. Now this is the warm-up, PVC pipe walks, trunk rolls, body weight single leg RDLs into a hip block, band pull aparts, banded external rotations, standing snow angels. Excellent upper body warm-up. Then we're gonna hit some clap push-ups. If you have jerk boxes and you can do push presses, that's absolutely fantastic, but let's just do some clap push-ups, get into some incline bench press. Okay, so let's work on the shoulders. Make sure that the shoulders feel okay. They're not banged up. If they are, let's go to a more neutral grip bar. You can get a Swiss bar, use that on the incline bench, or go to a flat bench, okay, with dumbbells. We're gonna hit some pull-ups. Now, in this case, I've got pull-ups laid out here. This last set, this drop set's gonna be harder. If we've got linemen that can't do this, let's go to the reclining rows. That's an easy fix. Dumbbell bench, we're gonna do 2 sets of 9 and a set of 12. And I wanted to point out here, even on this incline bench warm-up, we've got these 9 reps here, okay? You can see this here as I'm shaking the mouse around that. 9 reps for your warm-up. I'm more and more of the light that if we're warming up, treat it as a warm-up. Like, dude, you don't need a lot of time. Do the warm-up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, rack it, put a little more weight on, hit another set of 9, rack it, now you rest 2 to 3 minutes. We don't need to rest a lot for the warm-up because the whole goal of the warm-up is to get the muscles warm, to get them rolling, to get the blood flow there, to get the hormones. I think it's thyroxine is the actual hormone that's getting in there to help it slide a little more effectively, okay? So just wanted to throw that in there to minimize time. And now remember, this upper body strength day is probably going to be on day 2. It's probably going to be on that Monday. And then we're going to finish through this. You get a little bit of a pump with the dumbbell bench press and that chest row. And then we're going to finish with some hollow body rocks. 2 sets of 17, do it as a team. Okay, so when I say that high school football coaches are making you weak, the downfall is that high school football coaches, for the most part, planning as well as they could, and they're not establishing the culture. It's constant noise. When I hear this constantly, over and over, my kids just, they don't want to win. They don't want to win. They don't want to lift. They don't want to, they're weak. Yeah, they use the P word, which is one of my favorite words, but I won't say it here on YouTube. They're all a bunch of these kids they're on their phone, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? You're the leader. You establish the culture. You tell them when they're going to lift. They come in on Saturday after their game. They do the leg lift, and then they watch film, vice versa. Now, the head coach is establishing that culture, and even in season, we're getting that athlete better because the work we're doing. And oftentimes, some of the kids that sort of fray out during the summertime or during the springtime, they sort of just disappear. Well, now they're in season. And so now it's a little easier to hold them accountable. And so then guess what? Now they start to see that they're getting stronger by the end of the season just because they're going into the weight room 2 to 3 days a week. Now all of a sudden, that football coach is holding them accountable with this new established culture, and they're getting better long term, and they buy in. Now the culture's better, now the workout's better, now the system's better. And this is one of the things too that we use inside of Peak Strength, is that we have a dynamic system that you can change the specific days. So if you're inside Peak Strength as a football player, you're in there and you might have a schedule change, or you might have a more challenging opponent on a specific week. Well, you can move your workout around. That's a big factor inside of Peak Strength, along with those rest periods. Head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS Store, and get in there today. Now, one final thing here is that we're going to get into some basic speed work, okay? So think about a Friday, that's your football game. Saturday, that's your leg day. Monday is your upper body day and film for that coming week. Now we're going to go in Wednesday, and we're going to actually plan that on Wednesday. We're going to hit some acceleration work, but we're going to do it on the field before practice ever starts. Okay, so we're getting on the field. We got our pants on. We're not wearing our tops. Okay, so we're not wearing pads. We're not wearing helmets. We're going to do warm up, PVC pipe walks, split squat rotations, trunk rolls, all this stuff. Single leg RDL to hip locks, some duck walks, some duck hops. Open up the hips. Then we're going to do some easy quick skips. Okay, so like 3 sets of 20 quick skips. Maybe we do some other quick skips, some high knees. And then all of a sudden, okay, we got sleds. Let's say we got 4 sleds and we got a hill near us. Okay, some of you guys are going to get on the sled and we're going to put a 25-pound plate on. We're going to do 3 sets of 20-yard sprints. Some of you guys, we're going to go over on the hill, 3 sets of 20-yard sprints as fast as possible. Okay, so we might do 1 or 2 groups, and the groups might be like, hey, let's do 1 or 2 at a low intensity, and then 2 to 3 at a very, very high intensity. Now that sprint bite is something that we can use for them to maintain their speed. And if you think back to the example of the kids who didn't show up in the off season, now they're getting this speed work done in season. So another recommendation is you could test them earlier in the year and they could see where their speed's at. And just from doing this consistent layout throughout the week and establishing that better culture, now they start to see that they can win in the 40, even a bigger, heavier kid now, because he's doing sprints once a week. Now he's getting better. I wanted to throw in here as well, we can do impulse work on Wednesday if our Friday opponent is weaker. Okay, so that would mean get in the weight room, we do fast power cleans. We do single leg squats unbroken, something like that very rapidly, just to get in the weight room, get some tension, 20 to 30 minutes, get out. Okay, so this is how that entire format is laid out, and you can see it right here. Notice every single day we're gonna get in and we're gonna do some mobility as well. So we have a mobility workout laid out here. You can go in on that upper body day, you have an upper body mobility workout. So this is all part of the entire system. So when I'm saying strength coaches or football coaches are getting you weaker, the reason I'm saying that and the call out I'm making is that we're not scheduling. Football coaches are not scheduling the season as effectively as possible. They're not challenging their athletes as effectively as possible. They're not establishing the culture from the top down. If your kids don't want to work, it's because of the leader, okay? It's a trickle down. And if we can establish that culture from the top and you hold yourself accountable as the coach to hold the athletes accountable and to make it clear what their level of expectation and what your level of expectation is for them and how you want them to get the work done, and you show them the success that they're going to have. That's how you create a winning culture. So head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS Store. Download Peak Strength today. Get inside that football program, because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.